Wednesday Express. Not stopping at Peterborough, on quest with Grumpy, along for the ride. Banana Bird, will he be here this week? Who knows? Model railway news and views and lots of fun. We all hate GoPro Gav, but love a fillet of fish. Where in the world to test you lots? Grumpy's model railway job section, which is always wrong. Great chat and lots to see. Model Railway Quest welcomes you to the Wednesday Express. Not stopping at you know where. Let's do it, scree scub diddly boosh. It's back to you, Dawn.
Hello, 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 my lovelies. How are you? Welcome to another, yes, Wednesday Express. Not stopping at you know where. And guess what? Hear that? The sound of relative peace and quiet. Yes, you guessed it. Good old Grumpy. He's not here again this week. He's back at work, slogging away, earning a few pennies to fund his fillet of fish fund, I guess. You know him, always at McDonald's. So I'm sorry about that. You're stuck with just little old me, but we have some exciting plans ahead for this program. Firstly, how much would you pay for a railway ticket? How about £113,000? Yes, not any old ordinary train ticket. I'll be explaining more in just a moment. Plus, we also have Hastings Model Railway news and, of course, a where in the world, or should we say, a what in the world, courtesy of Gordon Hanning West Railways. So thank you for that, Gordon. And also, we have a very special guest in the green room. It's none other than Bernard Hillen, founder of Mini Prints. Hello, Bernard. It's lovely to have you on board the Wednesday Express. And we'll be discussing everything to do with mini prints and detailing your model railway layout, plus all the wonderful figures in Bernard's online store. Just a bit later, I'll let you go for a minute, Bernard. We'll come back to you in a few minutes. See you very soon. Now, in the meantime, if you like what you're hearing, if you like this live stream, then please do hit the like button, hit the 100% button, hit the heart button. Send me some love. I'm here on my own. Come and keep me company. Always lovely to have you on board and have you join us. I'll be chatting with you, going to the chat in just a moment and seeing your comments, so bear with me. Also, if you know me, I like a cup of coffee. It gets me through. It gets me through a Wednesday Express. It gets me through the week. It got me through a house move. And thank you to everyone who's donated a coffee. You can hit the link. You'll find it there at the top of the chat, nice and pinned. So thanks to everybody. Again, hit the like button. Send me some love. I'm just going to go to the chat. Now, Grumpy may not be here, but his laptop is. And let me tell you, it's making an awful din. I've got it next to me so I can read the chat. Let me just see who's in the chat room. It's the fan. I think it's the fan. It's like wheezing away, coping with the load that is Grumpy's desktop. Who have we got? Deltic Film. Back at work doesn't always mean working. True. Very, very true, Deltic Film. Very true. Grumpy Meninchets, hello, all from rural France. Well, bonsoir, hello, I hope you're well. Is this a move from the UK or are you a native of France? Let us know, we'd love to know. Hello, Travis, hi, Dawn. Grumpy's not here, Travis. You're just stuck with me for a change. Lovely to see you, I hope you're feeling well. And of course, I should mention that the lovely Timber Surf has stepped into the fray, as per usual. He's manning the controls, wielding, is it the controls of power. He'll be monitoring all your chats, so behave, you know what he's like. Bit of a stickler for doing things the right way. So Timber Surf is here. Thank you so much to Timber Surf for stepping in as moderator. That means you can't play Where in the World, Timber, because you know the answers. And also, Gordon, you can't play Where in the World because you know the answer too. Who else have we got? Aaron Oxford has just gifted some memberships. Thank you so much, Aaron. That's really, really kind of you. Let me just explain what that means. You can gift a membership. You can gift as many as you want. And if you have been gifted a membership, it means, let me just go to member news, that you will enjoy all the perks of being whatever level Aaron has chosen for you, including discounts and news and freebies. Have a look at what the perks are under the perks list in the YouTube channel. But This membership will last for a month, and at the end of the month, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to cancel it. It will automatically expire unless you love being a member so much that you would like to renew either at the same level or at a lower level or even upgrading. So thank you so much to Aaron for doing that, who has been the recipient. Hold on, I just have to do this funny thing with Grumpy's. Simon Reeves has received one. Thank you so much. He was gifted a membership by Aaron Oxford. Ah, that's lovely. So Aaron has gifted one to Simon Reeves. Grumpy Men in Sheds, he's been a Yorkshireman in France for 20 years. Wow, which part of France? Love to know. We have quite a few people in France. So it's growing little community there. So hello everybody. Simon's Trains, hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Always lovely to see everybody on board. Who else have we got? Trying to do everything here, guys. The Growler Blackwood Engage layout watching tonight while ballasting. Well, we're lovely. Keeping you company while you're ballasting. Ballasting is not my favourite job. I don't think it's many people's favourite jobs. One of the jobs on model railway layout builds, probably my least favourite, but I hope we're keeping you company. So as per usual, come along, sit yourself down, grab your beverage of choice, pull up a chair, pull up the screen and just enjoy another hour of model railway news, reviews, and of course we've got the lovely Bernard. I did ask him if it was Bernard or Bernard, and he said, well, actually, I think he was born in Glasgow, where it was Bernard, but he's since his family is from Glasgow, where it was Bernard, and now he's in the lovely Toronto, Canada. So of course he's now Bernard, which sounds so much more exotic, doesn't it? So much more sophisticated, I think, than the way we would do it here in the UK. Anyway, what else have we got? Well, member news. This month, the women's Facebook group, Zoom group, will return in May, as will the Super and VIP Questy Facebook groups. So having a little month off in April while we get our ducks in a row. As you know, big move this month at the end of last month. So just getting everything organised, but business will resume as usual in May. So I'll be holding the women's Facebook group, the Zoom group. I'll be posting the links in the group, and also to our lovely new follower in Latvia, Aya. Lovely to see you. I'll send you the link too. It'd be lovely to have you join us there. Who else? What else have we got? Other member news? Well, as I said, if you'd like to become a member, you can click the link below this video. I'm going to be looking at membership actually in the next week or two, because I want to see if we can, as you know, since October, everything's been a little bit up in the air. What with building the Lady Killers, doing the Lady Killers videos, having lots of shows, and of course, a big house move. But now that I've emerged, blinking into the sunlight, and now that I've come up for air, I'm going to be taking a look at the membership and maybe adding in a newsletter, maybe adding a few extras, and just making it a little bit more cohesive. So thank you for bearing with us over the last few weeks and months. Right then, let's get cracking, shall we, with a wonderful, thank you, Gordon, where in the world? Not so much a where in the world, but what in the world? Like what on earth in the world, I think we should say. So where in the world, my lovelies, is this? Or what in the world? Or when in the world? 3 questions in one. Where, when, and what? If you know, post in the comments. I'm not going to leave it up for long, but I love these because I think a lot of these where in the worlds inspire us to think about different things to put on layout. So I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back in the room and breathe. Just a little fun. Not a serious competition at all. No prizes for guessing it right. Just, as I said, the smug satisfaction of knowing you were right. But I know several people have talked to me about Where in the Worlds and said that they really like Where in the Worlds because they've inspired them to either think about a new layout or to think about something different to put on the layout. And I like actually researching the Where in the Worlds and getting all your Where in the Worlds, because I go to Wikipedia, find a little bit more information about these particular model railways or actual real railways, and it's just fascinating to find out all the different information about what is out there. So that's Where in the World. Let me see if anyone's got it right. I'm going to go to the comments. It's not Wuppertal. No, Simon Maria, not at all. Actually, Wuppertal is hanging from above, isn't it? So it's not a monorail. I don't think it's a monorail. Who else? Anybody? London? No. Somebody's got it right already. I won't say who. No, it's not London. Was it real or just a prop? It was real. It was real. Jason Pierce, new model by me, definitely was real, but didn't quite get off the ground. Pardon the pun. But yes, somebody's got it right. Hermitage Road. Hello to you. Nice to have you on board. Now then, shall we take a look and see? Now, our guest this evening, as I said, is the lovely Bernard Hillen. Oh, by the way, I'll be coming back to the Where in the World at the end of the programme. Our guest this evening is the lovely Bernard Hillen, and I think it was you, Deltic, who introduced me to miniprints.com. And I think you introduced me to some of the different fascinating 3D prints that he does. I'm just going to check that he's back in the room, actually, because he did have to zip off. And as this is all live, I just want to make sure he's back. Yes, he's back. Good. Okay, good. We're coming to you in just a second. Right. So he's back. And as I said, let me show you some of the lovely 3D prints that Bernard does. So here we have, standard little rabbit, sheepdog and collie, sheepdog and sheep, lovely. Now, this is a series called Close to the Edge. Skeleton on a motorbike, anybody? Anybody for Halloween? What else? And of course, we featured this a little while ago. The housefly. Was it real? We shall find out. Here is the lovely Bernard Hillen. Bernard, welcome to the Wednesday Express. Lovely to have you on board.
Well, thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here. This is my first international transatlantic YouTube podcast, whatever we want to call it.
Fantastic. Well, we're honoured. We're honoured that you have joined us. Lots to talk about. As I said, I'm new to your website, but tell us a little bit about how it started. I'll let you explain how this whole thing started, because I think I'll get myself into trouble. Go on, tell us all about miniprints.com and how it all started.
Well, I'm a recovering graphic designer, and my design business started to, very quickly wound down during COVID because I was working with mom and pop small businesses that were not open. At the same time, I got my first 3D printer. Now, I'm a model railroader. I've been model railroading for about 10, 15 years. And I was looking for a specific animal. So I wanted an HO scale beaver for my own layout, because I built a typical Canadian scene, a little beaver lodge, with twigs stacked up. And I couldn't find anyone who manufactured a beaver. I went onto the internet and I typed HO beaver, which is not an internet search I recommend anyone do. I had some explaining to do, but nothing came up, which is very surprising too, because we have beavers everywhere here in Canada. I mean, I was driving along the road in the largest city in Canada, Toronto, probably the third largest metropolitan area in North America. And we were down by the lakeshore, and sadly, there was a beaver that had been hit by the side of the road. Bit of a sad story, but it just shows you how common the beaver is. Like, they are literally everywhere, except not available at that time in HO scale. So I made one, and I made the mistake of posting it on Facebook, and a few friends wanted one. And then someone asked me if I would sell them one. And 5 years later, I am a full-time model railroad manufacturer.
Fantastic. And I mean, I love, you've got so many, different types of little, characters. You've got vehicles, you've got people, you've got animals, you've got weird, you've got wacky. Let's take a look at some of them. I'm going to start with the funny ones, because these are hilarious. If you wouldn't mind just talking me through some of these,
sure.
Some of these ones. So first of all, this one, well, that went a bit too. So this is the mini crops that people are seeing now. And then there's the housefly, and then we've got you crashing your drone, and then we have the floating ghost, and also we have skeleton ghost rider, and then there's the famous defecating dog. So talk me through those, Bernard. Sorry.
Sure. In no particular order. I like things that are unique. I like things that are funny. I like things that add a little bit of whimsy, but at the same time are prototypical. And everything on my website are either things that I wanted myself for the layout or are requests. And a lot of these things are, people know my sense of humor, my product line. So they will say, what about? And come up with the sort of the next, crazy idea. So these are all things that I wanted or other people suggested.
Okay, okay, and it's not just funny and weird and wacky. You do.
No.
I do. There's a lot of detail in your 3D prints. One series that I really do love, and I think the reason I love it so much is it kind of takes you outside the model railway layout. So I'm going to go through the photos again and talk me
Yep.
through them. This is your close to the edge range, and I love it because, as I said, we look at our layouts, on their dimensions, but these figures make you look beyond, and I'll show them, and people can see what I mean here. So here we go. Is this one just lovely? I did a lot of that wheelbarrow work over the weekend with the garden. But these little figures are right on the edge of your layout. You can place them right on the edge, and they just give an extra dimension because it's about looking beyond the layout, isn't it? So yeah, tell me, Bernard, what gave you that idea?
Well, I'm always looking for real estate. And the idea really started with the fascia because nobody ever models on the fascia. It's prime real estate. Maybe we have a throttle holder or, something to operate our switches or a drink holder. But it's really a whole dimension of space that's ripe for model railroading. So it started off as sort of a joke with a friend of mine. And I said, we were talking about the flat earthers. And I said, the world's not flat, but our model railroad layout is. So if you were at the edge of the world, what would you do? And this is a question I started asking to everybody I sort of ran into, and everybody had a different answer. And I'm up to about 13 different edge series. And these are all sort of me just saying, hey, what would you do if you were at the edge of the world? And then scanning them in that position.
I love it. I love it. I've never seen anyone do that before. I think when we're doing our layouts, we're always so focused about what's on the layout. But yeah, as I said, we don't really think beyond. And I love that. Looking outside the layout that we have in front of us. It just adds that extra kind of. It uses the imagination, doesn't it?
Yes, and I have a whole series of what I call beneath the tracks, which are little scenes that you can actually slot into the fascia of your layout. So be it a crystal cave with a dragon or a 1950s bomb shelter. So there are all these little things that you can actually create within the fascia of your layout.
Fantastic. And tell me, so you model in HO, most of your stuff is N, HOS. Tell me about the gauges and scales that you model in.
Sure. So every mini print is available in 3 scales. So, 3 scales. So HO, S, and O scale. So everything comes in those 3 scales. Most items, I'd say 75, 80% come in N scale. The problem is because we're called mini prints, there are certain things that are so many, I can barely get them out in 1:87. So if it's not available in N scale, it's likely just too small to print.
Yeah.
I'm open to OO scale, which I know is a prevalent scale over there. If anyone has a model that they would like reproduced in OO scale, they just need to, or double O, they just need to contact me.
Fantastic. And I like that about your company, Bernard, because you say you've sold to almost every country except Antarctica. You ship internationally. You seem, your company's very customer friendly. You're happy to, help, and you're happy to listen to people's requests. I love that. So if you're saying that if somebody wants something in Double O, you're happy to kind of take that on board and work with your customers. Is that right?
Sure, absolutely. And one of the things I'm looking to do, obviously, is, I have quite a few customers in the United Kingdom. They typically order HO scale or O scale. But, if there are customers that would like something unique and different that we produce and model in Double O, obviously I'm very happy and, accommodating.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, let's take a look at some more of your fantastic designs. I'm going to look at, I've labeled this one weird. I can't remember. I can't remember why. Weird. Let's just go with weird, shall we? So we've got the ghosts, the flying pig, and what else is here? The alien. That's right. So there we go.
It's fun. It's plain and simple. A lot of people like to hide Easter eggs. One of our most popular is Bigfoot or the Sasquatch. I've since added a Yeti. We have the Loch Ness Monster. So there are many, many layouts that have Nessie, in the little river or creek. As a matter of fact, one of my recent additions is a Kraken coming out of the ocean with the 8 tentacles sort of sucking a boat underneath. So these are sort of some of the more silly, whimsical, fun ideas. We have pretty much every North American mammal. I haven't added too many European animals, although, sheep are sheep and cattle are cattle, although I have a Texas Longhorn. I should probably create a Highland cattle. Lots of dogs and birds and, things that I think would work anywhere.
Yeah, I did notice a lot of, as you say, North American, Canadian wildlife. I don't think there's much call for an elk on a GWR branch line over here.
Well, there is a prototype for everything.
That's true. So where does your inspiration come from? Are you, is it you're just going about your business and all of a sudden you think, oh yes, I need a flying pig, or we need this or we need that. Where do you get your inspiration?
Well, the biggest area, we've talked about some of the fun stuff, but the biggest area on the website are probably objects. And those are, forklifts and, skid loaders and, traffic barriers and sort of more of the run-of-the-mill, mundane, everyday items. And those pretty much are either requests or things that I see on my walk to the office. So I have an industrial space. And every day walking to work, there's a new sort of garbage bin or dumpster detail that sort of screams out to be modeled.
Yeah. So inspiration is everywhere, much like, when we all do our model railway layouts. Who knows?
my alter ego is a character named Dr. Minnie. And I make appearances from time to time at train shows in my full Dr. Minnie gear. And Dr. Minnie and I share a passion and a mission to shrink the world. So if it exists in real life and someone wants it on their layout, then that's fair game.
Mm-hmm. I was reading some of your blog articles and they really hit home because you talk about realism on layouts and how important it is. And I think you were quoting somebody else saying there are the 3 types of railroaders or railway modelers, and somebody who just wants to play trains, someone who's just about running the whole process, and then someone who's really into the detail, the whole detail. Detail is very personal, isn't it? A detail on a model railway layout can be very personal.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of these scenes are requests from people. And the most interesting requests tend to be people who are memorializing something. They're either remembering fishing with their dad or a friend who passed away, or an experience as a child. So a lot of times people will model a scene that specifically has some sort of resonance or meaning for them. And we live in an age right now where with 3D printing and my shrink ray gun, we can pretty much, recreate anything. So, if there was a gazebo by a river that you went to as a child, chances are someone has 3D printed it or can 3D print it.
And I note as well, there was a line in one of your articles that's, a lot of time modelers will put elements in their layout which no one else can see. And I do that with my little houses. I do wallpaper and pictures, and no one can see them, but I know they're there, and means something to me. Do you find that a lot with people you talk to?
Oh, absolutely, because different people model different level of detail for different reasons. And one of the reasons is just pure creativity. So it's very satisfying to create these little tiny mini scenes, and pop the lid off and just sort of, look at the couch inside and the stag's head on the wall and, all of this. And it doesn't have to be front and center. Like you said, it's there and you have the satisfaction of creating it.
And talking about things that aren't there, the housefly, we had a bit of a discussion about that, about whether it was real. We kind of figured it wasn't real. The N-gauge housefly, unpainted. And did you get anyone think it was real and order it?
I think it was one of those things where, and I do an April Fools every year, and I try and get it to the level where people are like, could it be? Is it really? No, it couldn't be. So it's that thin line of plausible, but then people shake their head and say, no, it couldn't be. He's not that crazy.
Or maybe he is.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to try and do something. We were practicing this just before. You're going to share one of your latest creations. Anyone watching the news or reading the news lately will know that scientists have brought back an animal from extinction, basically, the dire wolf. Is that right? So,
yes.
Shall we try this, Bernard? See if we can.
Sure, let's see if we can get it up.
We'll see if this works, shall we?
Okay.
Go for it.
So I see my website, if other people hopefully do. This is miniprints.com. And you can see here the different things we were talking about, the birds, the land animals, people, there's the kraken. Objects being probably the most popular, largest area, and then if you scroll down to new arrivals, you will see the first newest one, and I'm putting up new items all the time. So here is my dire wolves, and I've de-extincted them from mini prints. I'm actually offering a bonus set of them for free with every order. It's actually over $30. So over $30 US, which is, I don't know what it is in UK equivalent. I guess I probably could find out if I just type in United Kingdom.
Yeah. Actually, I think Timbersurf, our moderator, is very good. He's our walking encyclopedia. I'm sure in a moment he's just going to pop up and say exactly how much that is in UK, in GBP.
Oh, there you
so
go.
That's very, very cool. Very current and very cool. Love it. So
yep.
I've kept you quite a while. Let's have a quick sum up here. For your UK audience here, most of them, the people on the Wednesday Express are UK, but not all. We have lots of people from Europe and further afield, Australia, the US. Tell us a little bit about what they can expect from a mini prints order, a delivery, ordering. Tell us all about it, and whatever you'd like to say.
Sure. For our American friends, there are no tariffs currently. Shipping to the UK is surprisingly inexpensive. So shipping is not an issue. I'm not 100% sure what the taxes and VATs are. I'm hoping that Canada will negotiate a free trade agreement with the United Kingdom, because that would be a lovely thing. But I do get quite a few orders from the United Kingdom, so it seems to work. In terms of timing, everything I make is made to order. So it depends whether or not you want your item painted or not. But usually it's about a week or two, depending on how busy we are. Because we print it, package it, and send it out for each order.
Okay. Lovely. Well, Bernard, thank you so much. Oh, and I must add that you do a monthly subscription. Today's your box of the month day, isn't it? So you're busy today. So
It is. So
you do a monthly
every month,
subscription.
it's HO scale only, because that is the biggest segment of the market. So every month I take a box of all the new items before they even go onto the website. They are the first crack, newest, custom, unique items. And the deal is that you get $50 worth of mini prints for $25. And then I throw in $5 for shipping. And these are the sort of the cheerleaders who get everything, sort of the cool new stuff first.
Brilliant. Sounds fantastic. Well, Bernard, thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely to talk to you. I can't wait to see what else comes out from the Mini Prints website. Really lovely. I've got a few ideas for orders of my own, which I'll be placing
always looking for requests.
Okay, lovely. It's been a real pleasure. So thank you so much. Keep in touch, keep us posted, and take care. We'll see you very shortly.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you. Bye, Bernard. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, what a lovely guy he is. And just, I love the whole, the sense of humour. And I think he's really turned the world of 3D printing on its head a little bit. Because, 3D printing, we see pretty much same standard images. There's lots of people, lots of vehicles. But, who would have thought of having a defecating dog? And no, Tim Surf, it doesn't begin with S. Something like that. Let's just see who's in the chat. We've got some new people coming. Thanks to Bernard Hillen of miniprints.com. Yes, thank you, Tim Surf. And the links are up. I have posted them, or they will be up at 8:30. So don't worry about writing down any of the links from tonight's live stream. I've put them in the post in the Wednesday Express Facebook group and on the YouTube post page. So they'll be there. So the miniprints.com link is there. Also, a link to his blog. He's got some fascinating blog posts, which I loved reading. And then there's a Facebook group that he recommends, which was the inspiration for him getting started into 3D printing. So let's see who else we've got. We've got Summer Breeze Model Railway. Hello. I'm not going to sing it because I'll just turn everybody off. Thanks, Mini Prints. Thank you so much. Thank you. Going to the Dogs says a very interesting interview. Thank you. Yeah, what a lovely guy. Really enjoyed having a chat with him as always. Let me see if I can work out the comments. Sorry as I turn away from you, everybody. Who else we got? Deltic Film. And Deltic Film, yes, it was you who turned me on to Mini Prints because you said you found them because you were looking for an HO armadillo. As you do. Right, once again, Grumpy's laptop is defeating me. Right, that's better. Who else have we got? I'm just going to scroll up and see. No, I don't want to do that. Thank you very much. Oh, it's Maura. Hello, lovely to see you. Eddie, hi. Thank you for joining us. Lovely to have you on the Wednesday Express. Keep the comments coming and I'll read your name out very, very shortly. Now then, other news. Well, what have we got coming up? As I said, in May, we'll have the Women's Facebook Group Zoom meeting and also the VIP and Super Questies Zoom meeting. So that will be in May. I will post that soon. Now then, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, some sad news about our good friend Angie Cottingham, who sadly passed away after a short illness. And so just some news from the Southwark Model Railway Club that his funeral is going to be on Monday, the 12th of May. It's going to be at the Eltham or Falconwood Crematorium, starting at 11 a.m. No flowers, but donations to Greenwich and Bexley Heath Hospice will be appreciated. So I would like to try and get there to pay my respects to Andy. I'll see if I can make it. I know that that's a tricky week for me because I'm going to be down in Hastings and I've got both layouts and a dog. So I would love to be there, but I do send all my condolences to all his friends and family. So if you'd like to pay your respects, I've put the link out. If you'd like to make a donation to the hospice, I've put a link in the links page. So I mentioned earlier on this railway trip. How much would you pay for a train ticket? I mean, I know train tickets are going through the roof, but how about this? £113,000? Anyone willing to cough up £113,000? Not just any old train ride though. This is a very special train ride. This is part of my question of the night as well. It's a railway journey that's going to go around the world in 100 days by rail and the occasional boat. 3 months, it'll take you 3 months, and it's being organised by the tour operator Adventures by Train. It's their flagship tour that will take passengers around the world in 100 days. As I said, the first departure is scheduled for March 17th, 2026, and I do have some video actually. Let's have a look and see what it's all about. It does look extremely intriguing. Let me see if I've got it here. Here we go. So, as I said, it's going to go through first departure March 17th, 2026. Now available for general bookings for the general price of £112,900. £112,900. Sorry, I've got that all wrong. £113,000. Let's just say it's been a long day. However, only 12 people will be able to join the inaugural journey, so adventurers need to be quick to secure a spot. So quick, everybody, grab your wallets, go to the website. Those who book as a couple will get significantly cheaper ticket. There you go. Grumpy. Priced at £89,000. Using only trains and cruises, passengers will visit dozens of UNESCO World Heritage Sites across 3 continents. The World Tour departs from St Pancras railway station and will travel through 14 countries, including France, Switzerland, Austria, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, China, Japan, Canada, and the US. And you'll be able to take part in unique activities like Turkish marbling workshops, wine tastings in Georgia's Kahiti region, and traditional tea ceremonies in Japan. Sounds like a real trip. You can also indulge in exquisite meals at renowned restaurants like Vienna's Steinereck, Shanghai's Tian Table, and New York's Atomics. It's the brainchild of director Jim Luth, whose father was a railwayman, apparently, so he really was involved to a great degree as he was growing up. So my question of the night, would you pay? How much would you pay for a train ticket? For a destination train ticket? Is this a kind of resurgence in destination rail journeys? You know, we've heard of the Orient Express, for example. It's something very romantic about railway journeys, isn't there? And I do like the sound of this. Although some of those destinations sound like they're in the middle of nowhere. Is this something, if you could afford it, would you? Or does nothing beat a plane in your experience? I do love travelling by train. I think it's probably one of the most civilised ways to travel. Sit back, watch the world go by, read a book, just relax. So yeah, that might be right up my street. They do other routes. Shanghai to Bangkok and London to Gdansk are a couple of the other routes they do. Just thought that was very, very interesting. So if you had £113,000 spare, would you spend it on that 100 days railway journey around the world? Who knows? I don't know. Right then, so in other news, well, the Hastings Model Railway Show is coming up, as I said, Sunday the 18th of May, and last week I talked all about the model railway layouts we've got and the trade stands. Well, we have a couple more joined us. Here's the details. I'm going to sit that way so you can see. It's at the Hastings Academy on Rye Road. If you pre-book, and the link to pre-book tickets is in the Facebook group and on the YouTube post page. If you pre-book, you get a bit of a discount. I'll be running the cafe as well as having the Lady Killers there, and I've got a little bit of help with that. But we've also got some new updates. We have the lovely Craig Hillen by Jeff Davies that's coming, Engage. That is, let me see, I've got some more details about that. Let me, bear with me. Lost my notes as per usual. And we also have Ron Lines. He'll be joining us, the lovely Ron. Always a pleasure to have him at the show. He'll be joining us with his trade stand. So a couple more people coming along. Now then, Alfie, are you watching? Are you watching the live stream? Because Alfie, please get your dad to message me to email me, modelrailrequest@gmail.com, because I wanted to talk to him about his layout. So Alfie, would you please get your dad to message me? Email me at modelrailrequest@gmail.com, because I'd love to talk to him. And I've lost his contact details, so please do. Anyway, that's the Hastings show. If you have, excuse me, if you have any other information that you'd like to share about any other show, there'll be shows coming up at the end of this live stream. Do send us your flyer and we'll promote it on the channel. Now then, what else have we got coming up? Well, of course, earlier we talked about where in the world. Do you remember where in the world? What in the world? Why in the world? Who knows? Who knows? Well, this where in the world was sent in by Gordon Hanning. And this is, now again, rummage through my notes. Somebody got it right. It was Deltic Film. This is actually the Benny railplane, which was in Milngavie in Glasgow. The Benny railplane was a form of rail transport, and it's, let me see, get the poster, designed by, let me get my notes, George Benny, 1891 to 1957. It moved along an overhead rail by way of propellers. So was it a train or is it a plane? Who knows? Benny was born in Glasgow, Scotland. He began work on the development of his railplane in 1921, and in 1929 to 1930 he built a prototype on a trial stretch of track over a 130-yard line at off the Glasgow and Milngavie Junction Railway. However, run into trouble. He tried to get funding for it, but he couldn't get the financial backing he required to develop this transport system. So the proposed line from Edinburgh to Glasgow was not built, nor was the one between Southport and Blackpool. By 1937, Benny was bankrupt because he had financed most of the work himself. Well, there you go. Note to self. Maybe there's a lesson in there. Don't go designing any funny railways. Just stick to the ones we know. But thank you, Gordon, for sending that in. Who got it right? Well, Deltic Film got it right. Thank you so much. Again, no prizes for guessing. Who else got it right? Timber Surf. Anybody? Anybody else get it right? I'm just going to get that out of the way and see who else. Let's go to the chat and see who else got it right. Timber Surf, any ideas? Failed because they realised nobody wanted to go to Glasgow, says Simon Reeves. That's just rude. That's just rude, Simon. Hello, Go For It Painting. Nice to see you on board. Well, if you got it right, well done. I also have some other Where in the Worlds coming. If you would like to have your Where in the World featured on the Wednesday Express, then send them to me at modelrailwayquest@gmail.com and I'll do my best to feature it. It's been a bit quiet, hasn't it? I do miss Grumpy sometimes when he's not here. I mean, not so much the constant interruptions or the rudeness or, you know, the bad jokes, but he is quite helpful sometimes in terms of navigating the technology. So I do miss him. Anyway, coming up, let's have a little bit of industry news, shall we? Where lots coming on this week. Well, last week we had a bit of a bonanza from Hornby, didn't we? A bit of a bonanza. But this time it's the turn of Acura Scale. As Acura Scale, I've got a couple of new releases coming up. Firstly, this one, Golden Ochre. Did anybody see this? This is from last week, actually. Let me call it up. Here we go. This one is the Golden Ochre. This was released actually just before last week's, but I didn't catch it in time. Also, we've got these. The PTAs are back, just out today, I think yesterday. Acura Scale is bringing back one of its all-time most popular wagons. The popular PTA, JTA, JUA, Bogie, Iron Ore, Stone Tippler wagons in a second run. These wagons were originally built by Redpath, Dorman Long from 1972 for British Steel. Used for transporting iron ore to Consett, Llanwern and Ravenscraig, I hope I got those right. Known for their distinctive BSC axle molten bogies and attractive liveries, famously used in heavy trains such as 27 PTA tipplers triple-headed by Class 37s, later replaced by pairs of Class 56s on 30 wagon trains. Now the second run includes some improvements, including enhanced detail around the bogie centres, etched brake discs and track pickup for the tail light. There will be 4 liveries featured in this run. There will be the Yeoman revised Big Y livery, which is the first time on an Acura Scale model apparently. There will be the ARC livery or ARC livery in classic olive scheme with Procore markings, the British Steel Red Car Corset South Bank wagons new to the range, and the British Steel Port Talbot Llanwern circuit with new running numbers. Each 5 wagon box set costs £179 95, 10% discount available when purchasing both outer and inner sets. And each livery is represented by 2 sets. Outer sets with 2 wagons with buffers and traditional couplings, and inner sets wagons with higher knuckle couplings. Delivery expected Q2 2026. So if you fancy a bit of a Cura scale, they look rather nice, and a lot of people getting very excited about those. Now, last week I also mentioned Pico. Pico has its Rail 200 model layout competition. I'm going to say it again because actually I didn't get around to posting the link, which I wanted to. So I'm going to give you more details about the competition again. So Pico are announcing their competition open to all UK residents, celebrates 200 years of railway heritage, special year of course. Open to all ages and experience levels, no modelling experience required. There are 2 entry categories, modular and stand alone. And I won't go into the details, you can find everything you need to know on the website. But in order to enter, you have to purchase one of these baseboards, which costs £24, and that includes your entry. The baseboard comes with assembly instructions and the entry registration guide, and you have to use the baseboard to construct your layout. Now, the competition is already open and the submission deadline is September the 30th, 2025. There'll be 4 winners. The winners receive a £500 Pico voucher, 12-month Railway Modeller magazine subscription and commemorative trophy. There'll also be runners-up as well. So that sounds very nice. And no, Tom Marshall, I'm not going to be entering. I'm busy enough as it is. Lots going on. Talking about lots going on, well, what's coming up now then? Now that we've got the house move out of the way, the Lady Killers and Brief Encounter have been in storage, but I'm about to get them out next week and bring them into the house to get them ready, give them a bit of a dust down, tidy them up a bit, do a little bit of repair work if needed, because coming up May the 10th is South West Hearts Model Railway Club show in just outside Watford, so I'm going to be going to that with Brief Encounter. And then of course we have the Hastings Model Railway show on Sunday 18th of May. I'll be taking the Lady Killers to that one, and the lovely Norm I'm hoping will come along and help me run it. No pressure, Norm. Hoping that he can come along and help, but if not, it will be me running the cafe and the Lady Killers, so that will be interesting. See if I can do it. So we're expecting a huge crowd as per normal at our shows. We do a lot of promotion in the area just before our shows, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout as we did at Woolwich and Sevenoaks. So if you're in the area on Sunday the 18th of May, then do pop along. It would be lovely to see you. After Sunday, we've got coming up in June, we're in Shrewsbury at the church there. Looking forward to that. And we've got a little bit of extra filming coming along that weekend. Also in May, on the 19th of May, I'm going to be popping along to meet the team from Tracing the Rails, and going to be doing a little bit of recording as a guest on their upcoming episode of Tracing the Rails. So looking forward to doing a little bit of that. You can find Tracing the Rails on channel 95 on Freeview, and they also have a longer version on their YouTube channel, so I'll add the Tracing the Rails YouTube link as well. Now then, let's see what's coming up this weekend. Not so many shows. Did anyone go to the shows this last weekend? There were so many going on, but of course this weekend, big show, it's York, the York Model Railway show, of course. Spanning the whole of Easter, well, not Good Friday, but Saturday, Sunday and Monday. Probably one of the UK's longest model railway shows. Some great layouts there. I think they have around 40 layouts, something like that. I recognise 3 of them. I've seen 3 of them. So lots of fantastic layouts that I have yet to see. I won't be going along, but I'm hoping to go next year. So if you're heading to York, I know that Beijao is going to be there. One of my favourite all-time layouts. Also, Rosebery Goods, one of our own in the group, is going to be there. Looking forward to hearing back from them about how it went. So if you go to York, post your pictures, post your videos in the Facebook group. Would love to see them. As I said, would love to be there, but otherwise busy this weekend. We've got a few other shows coming up. If I just read through them again, if you want to promote your show, then send us the details. We'd love to promote it. We have Lymington Model Railway. Actually, it's the Lymington Community Association has its show on this coming weekend. Also, what else have we got? Let me see. Again, let me know. Ilfracombe Model Railway Society, that's on Saturday. And the Berkshire Area Group Engage Society 25th annual exhibition this weekend as well. I mentioned York, I mentioned Lymington. Lymington is going to be opened by Lord Montague of Bewley, no less. So hope you have a good time. So there's a show in pretty much quite a few areas this weekend. So do let us know how you get on. Tell us what you saw. Post your photos, post your videos. We'd love to see. Now then, just a quick look at the comments. I was at Fordingbridge last weekend, says Timbersef. How was it? I'm going to the York show on the Monday, says Simon Trains. Okay. Actually, Simon, if you look at the Mini Prints website, there's a photo of a rail fan, and I just instantly thought of you, Simon, because you with your cameras. Deltic Film was at Royston last weekend. I drove past Royston on the way. Where was I going? I can't even remember. Where was I going on the weekend? Oh yes, I went to buy a car past Royston, and I thought of you. Who else? Yes, pictures please, pictures please. Simon Reeves, York's is always a mega railway day out. The museum is ace and they put on some awesome stuff for all ages. Well, I'm hoping to get next year. I've never been to the museum and I'd love to go. I'd love to see the Mallard, one of my favourite locos. I do know people who've been and say it's just seeing it actually in the flesh or in the metal, so to speak, is just something to behold. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for joining me yet again. I got through it again single-handedly. Excuse the ers and the ums and the rustling of paper. Hopefully next week Grumpy will be back, and Maura, guess what? He'll be back with his quiz of the week. I know you've missed it. I know you've missed Grumpy, really. I've missed Grumpy. So he will be back next week. Hope you can join us. In the meantime, do have a lovely, lovely week ahead. Happy Easter if you celebrate Easter this weekend. Happy Easter. I hope you have a lovely time. I hope the sun shines. I hope you enjoy a model railway show or two or some Easter eggs. I know Grumpy will be well into the Easter eggs this weekend. He's a bit of a fan. Have a lovely weekend. Stay safe. Take good care of yourselves. Look after yourselves and your loved ones, and we'll see you again. We'll do it all over again next week, but this time with the lovely Grumpy cameraman. So take care. See you very soon. Bye-bye.
The Wednesday Express, not stopping at Peterborough, on quest with Grumpy, along for the ride. Banana Bird, will he be here this week? Who knows? Model railway news and views and lots of fun. We all hate GoPro gas, but love a fillet of fish. Where in the world to test you lots? Grumpy's model railway job section, which is always wrong. Great chat and lots to see. Model Railway Quest welcomes you to the Wednesday Express. Not stopping at you know where. Let's do it. Scree scub diddly boosh. It's back to you, Dawn.